college students of Reddit, what is something you wish you were told before your freshman year? Do not fall behind. Catching up is a pain in the butt. This is particularly true with GPA. I spent my first year fricking my GPA up and the next 4 trying to fix it. Always check your calculator before a test to make sure that it's working. You can easily lose a lot of points over dumb little things. I once lost like 20 points on a test because I had my calculator set to degrees instead of radians. There wasn't enough time to check, so I prayed for partial credit. The first friends you make at college don't need to stay your friends for all of college. Once everyone starts to adjust to the college lifestyle, you'll probably find other people you get along much better with, and that's okay. My best friends from college were picked by a computer at random. If math isn't your strong suit, online math will suck. Wrong answer. 0 attempts left. Your answer. 0.25. Correct answer. 1 stroke 4. Buy your textbooks literally anywhere but the school bookstore. Same goes for selling them back at the end of the semester. You are going to get frustrated and overwhelmed at certain times, and as big as those moments feel at that time, they are very small and insignificant moments when you look back later. Everyone gets burned out sometimes. It's okay to just take a day off. Getting a worse grade on a test is worth less than your future happiness and mental health. Transfer student here. Make sure you have enough credits so you can transfer by the end of 2 years. I feel like it's my fault for not knowing, but it sucks that no one told me about it. Spending an extra year before I can transfer because even though I was a full-time student, I didn't have enough units by the end of the spring semester. That the school offered 12 therapy counseling sessions a year and I might have been able to work out more. I didn't find this out until I was already halfway through my second semester and it was almost impossible for me to save my GPA. Always check what is offered to you and use the facilities and resources available to you. You're already paying for them. 1. 8 o'clock classes are tough when somebody isn't there to wake you up. 2. It is hard to get your GPA up, but it is easy to lower it. 3. Have some fun. The GPA thing is so true. It seems like I'll get A's and B's, and my GPA will go up 0.01% but get 1 C+ and it absolutely tanks it. Do your best to get to know your profs. To get into graduate school you will need 2 or 3 of them as references. Do not start playing League of Legends. Can confirm. Started playing LOL when it started to get big. Also started college. Played 2,000 hours that year. Studied for maybe 60. Ended up flunking. Losing mostly everything. Better now, though. Stay away from MOBAs. Y'all. For the love of God, don't buy any of the textbooks until the teachers explicitly tell you that they are necessary. Even then pirate them. Source. Wasted $400 on textbooks that I never even used. To add to this, don't take the professor's word for it when on the first day of class they say the book is required. Wait until you are 100% sure you actually need it. Source. Been burned too many times by required textbooks that I never even opened. Don't try to bully your professors or other authorities. You don't get to be old without having been young first. At some point. Believe me, the vast majority of the time they will know exactly what you're trying to do because a 20-year-old version of themselves probably tried the exact same thing when they were in college. The same way that any college kid can instantly tell when their 14-year-old brothers or sisters are bullshitting them. Older folks can also tell when you do it. Save yourself the embarrassment and just shape up instead of making crappy excuses. Ask people out often and don't be nervous if they don't respond to your friendship. Bust your butt to get an internship. So many people think a degree is a surefire career. It's not. If your degree seems easy, it's likely not worth your money or time. Many schools feel like diploma mills these days. Adding on to this, just because you got one super awesome internship doesn't mean you'll get another super awesome internship. Doors don't magically open because of one experience. They open due to a combination of hard work, networking, and luck. 1. When you get your syllabus, put project and exam dates in your phone calendar immediately. Your teacher may remind you when the exam is coming up, but they may not. I failed a calculus course because it was a long test, designed to be finished fast, and I didn't have my graphic calculator. 2. Sign up for classes in the middle of the previous semester. Find the exact time and day you are allowed to register. You should figure out your classes based on the catalog so that the minute you're allowed to, you can get the exact classes and times you need. I was delayed a year because I registered late and had to shift my entire college plan because there was no room in the class I needed. 3. Know how much of your grade the exams are worth. Don't assume you can make them up with good homework. In most classes, you can fail a single exam or project and be mathematically incapable of getting a passing grade. When you have a project due and an exam the next day, you better think carefully about which one matters the most. Getting a college diploma is great and all, but it's just as important to get work experience. That's exactly it. It didn't occur to me that I needed work experience until I was in my last semester of uni. There were students in their second year already thinking about it, and if you were thinking of going for a huge company, Deloitte or one of the big four, earlier applications for internships, the better. 1. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. Maya Angelou. I gave some people way too many chances when it was obvious they were D-bags. Conversely, I've forgiven certain close friends many times because I know they are good people fighting demons. 2. Be in your room for a purpose. To study, to sleep, to spend time alone and unwind. It's easy to let time slip away if you just chill out by yourself for no reason. 3. Go as wild as you can as long as your grades are good. 4. There are more people like you than you think. 5. If therapy counseling is free for students, by God take advantage of it if you're struggling mentally. Also, if you dance in front of the entire freshman class at orientation at an assembly, girls who think you're confident and really attractive. Found that result out too late, unfortunately. I gave some people way too many chances when it was obvious they were D-bags. Yep, one of the hardest things for me to learn entering college. Sometimes I was forgiving of certain situations because I was riding the high of making so many new friends. Can't decide between 2 electives? Sign up for both. Go to both on the first day. Drop the one that looks like it is going to suck. This is what my best friend's advice on college was. 1. Don't bring as much stuff you won't use 80% of it. 2. Call your mother at least twice a week. Walking to class usually works. 3. The first weekend is the most important for making friends. 4. The first few times that go out drinking and you think you need one more shot or beer, you don't. 5. Keep your stuff clean, and you and your roommate will get along much better. 6. When you go out, drink water before bed. 7. The library and gym are great places to meet people and also the most productive places to be. Show up to class. Listen, don't play stupid games on your phone the whole time. Start studying for exams 1-2 weeks before the exam, not the night before. It's not like high school where you could just show up after not studying and get an A. When you want to change your major and parents tell you no, do it anyway. Edit. Provided you're not making a rash decision, but at the end of the day it's your life. Especially if you're the one paying your own way. Do what you want, not what everyone else wants. Start studying for exams 1-2 weeks before the exam, not the night before. It's not like high school where you could just show up after not studying and get an A. Anyone who has taken college level calculus knows this all too well. 1. Make friends in your classes. You will need people to hook you up with tests, announcements and have fun with. 2. Go to retemeprofessor.com before picking your classes. 3. Don't overwhelm yourself with too many classes. Quality over quantity. Go to retemeprofessor.com before picking your classes. I should have done this before taking Calc 1 with the worst professor of my university's math department, and he was bad. We had 10 people in the class, of those only 3 of them passed. All 3 that did pass were on their second or third attempt at Calc 1. You are about to go through the worst emotional state you've ever experienced. Please stop trying to be gung-ho about it and get help. Your GPA and friendships will thank you. Yes, you took this exact class in high school. The college version covers more material and is much tougher somehow. Please don't treat it like an easy A. There's a Panda Express hidden away in the Union. It's cheap. Go forth and eat terrible fried rice. Do not sign up for a course early in the morning. Just because you took classes at 7 in the morning before 8:30 is far too early for Chemistry 101. Related note, nothing after 7 PM. I had a 3-hour lab. Got out at 10 PM every day. I can't explain how much I despise that class. Even worse because it was a Monday. There exists a YouTube video on almost any topic that explains it 100x better than your professor. Plus, you can pause it, speed it up, slow it down, look up something in the middle of it, etc. You have no idea how envious I am of students today because of these resources available to you. I'm an engineer at 29 years old and I watch YouTube videos on a regular basis as a refresher and to learn things I slacked off on in school or never had a class on. For any math science class, learn your calculator. If you know your calculator well, it's basically a cheating device. Yes, your TI-83/84 Plus can do calculus or will allow you to check your answers. Being aware of enough functions and being slightly clever will give you a huge advantage in any math science class. Take a few hours to look through the manual. You paid $100 plus for it. Why just use it for basic arithmetic? Start looking at job postings ASAP. Look at what employers are looking for in a recent grad. What sorts of computer skills should you have? Maybe a class that's not required that you should take? How are you going to stand out over 1,000 of other sclubs with the same degree? Take good stock of what is required of you in each course and maximize your returns. This isn't a go-to class. It's expensive. Study every day. Go to more parties type of statement. Sit down and look at all your courses. The syllabus. Is there mandatory attendance always? Sometimes? What is the reputation of the professor? How many exams are there? How many assignments are there? Is the final cumulative? Or is the course split? Would you benefit from previous exams? Is this a professor you want to have a relationship with? Will an A or B make a difference in your life path? Then, you plan. Seriously. Plan your slacking. Plan your last minute work. Plan your studying. There are some classes where you can learn all the material in 2 weeks. There are others that need 2 months. There are some where your grades on coursework and earlier exams don't really matter. Oh, the final is worth 80% and 70% is typically an A on the curve. That 20% coursework. Don't get burned out over it. Calculate your payoffs and act accordingly. If going to a tutorial every week for 13 weeks gets you 5% overall, you may be able to skip a few. If it's worth 30%, skip none. The key to not burning out is properly calculating your payoffs and knowing what will happen in each scenario. You waste less time, have less stress and are happier. Just be honest with yourself. Also, your social life doesn't have to be anything like anyone says. Do what you like. Calculate your payoffs. Fraternity? Calculate. Finals club? Calculate. Never go out? Calculate. Glee club? Student government? Debate society? Christian fellowship? Calculate. Know how much time it takes and what your payoff is. Critically analyze how you spend your time and you will not go wrong. Use the open office hours. Pick a major that interests you, but will actually allow you to make a decent living once you're done. Also, go to class. This coming from an American studies major who kind of wishes he had gone for computer science related major. Update. Based on the comments, a couple things that I should add. I currently work for a mail order pharmacy doing customer service. I actually do like my job and find it satisfying in its own right. However, I am 34 now and time and age have given me some perspective. While I did enjoy my major and the coursework that I did, I also realized that I was being lazy in college. I spent far too long in college and pick a major based on what I like alone with no consideration for what that would actually look like for a career post degree. I am all for learning, but the things I learned in college working on that degree I could have learned on my own without paying for it in college. That is not to say that I would not have missed out on certain skills that I have as a result of that major, but had I picked something else that I enjoyed, but that would have been more challenging to me intellectually, I may have set myself up for a better career. It really is about having an honest conversation with yourself. You are going to spend 4 years, in my case 7 years, going to school to get a bachelor's degree, but you will spend a much greater period of your life working in a career. Picking something you love as a field of study is a noble goal, and for some that is the right path. But if after you complete that you end up going into a career field that you don't love and then spend decades of your life working towards goals in that career, is that a worthwhile trade-off? For me, in hindsight, that is not the case. I am happy that I have the life I have. I am not miserable in my job and I do make enough to support my family that I have created. My life is not terrible. However, having a level of self-knowledge that comes with time and space from my decisions, I know that had I made some different choices at that age, I would perhaps be working in a career that is more satisfying personally and financially. TLDR. I don't regret my choices, but I think choosing a major in college needs to be a foundation for the life you want to lead post-degree, not just the thing you love the most with no perspective on the rest of your life. Use the goddamn tutoring centers. I wish I knew exactly how crippling the debt was going to be after attending an art music school. It was really expensive and in the end I got nothing out of it. I could have made a lot more advancement in life if I had gone to a community college that I could afford or some HVAC school. No regrets, but I feel like I'm a few years behind. People treat you differently based on how you look and how physically fit you are. And, for better or worse, we are social creatures, so your self-outlook will be heavily influenced by this. College kids are even worse than the general population, so this applies double here. TLDR. Borrow some fashion sense, get a haircut, and go to the gym minimum 3x a week. You'll be happier and have a better experience all around. And go to class. LPT. Take non-professional PE electives. Go to class and work out at the same time. Don't go to a certain college because it's close to your high school boyfriend. That long distance relationship isn't gonna work. Wish I would have known this sooner. If you really want to make it work, you probably can, but long distance is a B. The proper way to study, and that I needed a higher dose of anxiety medication. As someone who took some years off to live abroad, I think people should focus on finishing it as soon as possible. They are not the best years of your life. Don't feel like a failure because you are overworked, stressed, and generally unhappy because of the first two reasons. 1. It's totally okay to party, but don't feel like you have to every single weekend. I am an introvert and parties are super not my thing, but I thought I had to freshman year because it was part of the college experience. May have been naive of me to think that, but hindsight is 20/20. 2. For the love of God, use a condom. 3. If you have depression, anxiety, any kind of mental illness that interferes with school, even a little bit, check out your college's Disability Resource Center. I failed a couple classes and ended my freshman year with a 1.02 GPA because my depression wasn't under control. Now it is, but I also have accommodations, attendance, due date flexibility, stuff like that give me a safety net in case I need it. 4. Speaking of GPAs, like someone else said, it's very easy to lower it but very difficult to raise it. As mentioned above, I finished freshman year with 1.02. I'm wrapping up my junior year and have gotten straight A's for the past 5 or so quarters, and my GPA just this last quarter got up to 3.03. 5. Internships. This is the kind of experience many workplaces are looking for in entry-level fresh out of college folks. My university has a career services center where they help you figure crap out and host drop-in resume workshops and such. 6. Have fun, get to know yourself, reflect. College is a cool time. Remember that you're not the only one on campus that may not have their crap together, and that's okay. This is the time to figure it out. Go to class and read the textbooks. Seem obvious, but both tend to go downhill very quickly and can really cause your grades to slip. Also, it's okay to change your major, so try to take your gen eds the first year so you can really find what you like and can switch if you want without holding you back. I changed twice and had to go for a 5th year to finish. 1. Check your return on investment. How much are you paying to attend school? And what is your pay likely to be when you graduate? Is the degree you're pursuing really necessary for your planned career path? Is there a similar degree with better job prospects and or pay? Will your projected pay cover living expenses and whatever loans you have? 2. If you're going to a private school, even if you don't think you'll transfer, check with several public colleges if they accept the transfer credits. I have an associate's from a private school, but had to start completely over as a freshman because nothing transferred. That your GE class is at a CC and transfer them instead of wasting the first few semesters. Plus they're super easy and boost your GPA a crap load. Please start college right after high school. This coming from a 29-year-old college student who is still a year away from a BA. Making friends is not easy. I spend a lot of time in my dorm alone. There are other options besides a 4-year university. There are other options besides college in general. I wasn't given other options from my parents and high school. While I do see the benefits of higher education, sometimes I wish I had gone to community college or kept working. Your GPA doesn't matter as much as your health or as much as what you do outside of school. Employers like seeing a high GPA, but they hate seeing it at the cost of your life. Do the work, but get sleep and pursue some interests. Get your freaking butt off Reddit and Netflix. Good point. Getting off Reddit right now for Netflix. There is no reason for your first semester to be awesome. You are in a new place where you don't know anyone and you will probably experience some culture shock. If it sucks, that's fine. It'll only get better. Also, you were right when you tried to end that relationship before you left, and be sure to say I told you so when you actually break up. Find out what you need to graduate as soon as possible. That way you can schedule your classes accordingly and you won't be that guy who has to take an extra semester because you didn't realize you needed to take a stats class until the last semester of 4th year. You have been visited by the romantic doggo. Comment love is magic so you never fall in the friend zone. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video, or don't. Either way, have a great day you magnificent people.